Prescription drug prices has had a big effect on many Americans. Now don't just take my word for it. Here are some of the facts.
We as a society rely heavily on prescription drugs to help keep us healthy or maybe even help keep us alive.
So all of my patients are prescribed prescription drugs. Some of them are unable to take the medications due to the cost.
People in the United States pay almost 4 times the prices that are paid in other wealthy countries in the world.
From 2008 to 2016, the most popular name brand drugs rose up 208% in prices.
The federal government should negotiate directly with the drug companies to lower drug prices. Every other country in the world does that. We're the only one that doesn't, and so we pay more.
Skyrocketed in price is insulin. And so we've sort of undertaken a little mini investigation of our own at using insulin as a case study.
In the United States, insulin costs anywhere from $150 to $300. But in the neighboring country of Canada, it is as low as $30.
A lot of drug companies file for additional patents. They build what is called a patent thicket around their product in order to prevent generic, cheaper generic drugs that would compete with them from coming to market. The best-selling drug in the world is a drug called Humira by a company named AbbVie. They've filed 136 patents on Humira in order to block competition.
One of my drugs is about $40 to $45 a month. The other ones I take are generic, so the costs of them are much lower. It's like $6 for a month.
But they do everything they can to block generics from coming to market. And that makes the monopoly that we grant them even worse because they abuse it.
That is pretty much what the market can bear. There's really not a lot in the healthcare system to stop drug manufacturers from setting prices pretty much wherever they want and then increasing them pretty much whenever they want. And
prescription drugs are used to treat acute illnesses like cancer. I have cancer. I have an incurable blood cancer called multiple myeloma. Right now, I take a 4-drug combination of chemotherapy drugs, and that combination has a list price of $900,000 a year.
How am I ever going to be able to afford this?
I have some bad news for you, Mr. DeRock.
What's the news, Doc?
Well, it looks like your insurance can't cover the rest of your chemotherapy. Yeah, are you able to cover the cost yourself?
This is all I have.
I'm sorry, but it just isn't enough to cover it. There's nothing we can do. In America, the average monthly cost of chemotherapy is $12,000. But in Canada, it can be around half that price.
We know that drug companies need to make a profit. We know that they're an important component to manufacturing and distributing drugs. We get all that. But right now we have a terrible imbalance where the system is designed to maximize profits for them, not to maximize health for us. If we took all the money that would be required to pay whatever the drug companies want to charge and gave it all to them, we wouldn't have the resources to meet the other needs we have as a society.
Since 2016, prescription drug prices have dropped down 17% below their annual trend. This is because the Trump administration reform has caused the FDA to approve generics to the market at a faster rate.
Under President Trump, the Food and Drug Administration had already made it a priority to streamline the approval of generic drugs. resulting in a record number of generic drug approvals in fiscal year 2017. Last week, the FDA announced that it had set another record, approving even more generics in fiscal year 2018 than the year before.
We need to, as Americans, we need to speak out and tell our elected officials that they need to enact reforms that will protect us from this price gouging by drug companies. And we need reforms that allow us to bring our prices more in line with what the rest of the world pays. If you want to sign up to help fight for fair, lower drug prices in this country, go to the website. We collect patient stories and we amplify those stories to policymakers, elected officials, the news media.
Wake up, America. It's time to fight for your right to be medicated.